What's cracking, everybody? Today I'm going to give you guys the keys to nose grind pop outs. We are currently out here at Amanda's field. This is kind of off the Jersey Shore a little bit. I'm actually down here on vacation, and I posted an Instagram the other day at Sea Isle Skate Park, and someone left a comment about Amanda's field and about Wildwood Park. I never even heard of Amanda's field, so I googled it and this popped up. It's not the best. It's definitely weathered and should be updated probably more frequently and checked on, because there's definitely some sketchy shit going on in here. But I did see in the Google images that it had a long ledge, and I was thinking, you know, that might be good for nose grind pop outs. Nose grind pop outs have been a very requested keys to video. People keep asking me about nose grind pop outs and how to do them and how I go about them. So that's what we're gonna do in today's video. I'm gonna give you guys the keys to nose grind pop outs. If there's any other sort of keys to videos that you guys wanna see, learn to pop out of a different trick or just other tricks in general, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always reading them and trying to get ideas for other videos to make for you guys. But let's go check out this ledge real quick. Surprisingly enough, I did do a few like tail slides and a back tail and stuff. So far, someone must skate here. I know this place kind of looks deserted and it looks rusty. The few tail slides that I did on this ledge actually slid the whole thing perfectly fine. Like, I have not had to wax anything so far, which is kind of crazy. I'm sure I will eventually. On top of this box, it is kind of starting to fall apart, and a lot of this is bubbling up. A lot of the rubber. To me, I think it would be better if they just ripped the rubber off of this thing completely and just had a metal top to the box. I think that makes a lot more sense, especially once it gets to this stage, because it's kind of sketchy. You can feel it as you nose grind through it or tail slide through it. There's waves within it, and this is a skate wave park, but after a while with these skate wave parks, they literally become wavy. Like, I rode over this hip too. I don't know if it comes through on video, but as you ride across this bank, it's fully just like waved out. But anyway, I'm gonna get some warm-ups in, cruise around for a second, kind of get some basics. I don't think I'll be doing too hard of tricks here, just because the obstacles are honestly kind of sketchy looking. So I'll probably stick to the ledges, but I'm gonna get warmed up a little bit more, and then we'll get to the keys to nose grind pop outs. So we got a few tricks around the park to get the legs going. That was probably one of the better nollie crook nollie flips that I feel like I've ever done in my life. So I'm pretty hyped on that, actually. But before we get into the keys to nose grind pop outs, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the channel, Epic Water Filters. Talk about it all the time. You guys probably already know the deal, but if you don't, you can get 20% off your order with EPICASTA at epicwaterfilters.com. These things are awesome, especially down here where we stay. The water is very sketchy at the spot that we stay in at the beach. This thing comes in super clutch. Fill this thing up. Got nice clean water all the time, no matter what. It's also always with me while I'm out skating. Keep it hydrated, especially when it's this freaking hot outside, dude. It's ridiculous. So I always have water on me anyway, and a water bottle, and this one just makes sure that that shit's clean. If you guys want to pick up a bottle, it's also one of the best ways to support the channel directly. And this is my signature bottle with art done by Lucas Beaufort. Check it out at epicwaterfilters.com. Use code EPICASTA, get you 20% off your order, and stay drinking clean water. All right, nose grind pop outs. I honestly love nose grind pop outs. You guys probably already know, because I do them kind of all the time. Kickflip nose grind pop outs, kickflip frontside nose grind pop outs as well. So the only pop outs we're going over today is nose grind, like backside nose grind pop out, frontside nose grind pop out. And we'll go over like the different ways you could do them. One of the good things about learning nose grind pop outs, especially, you know, popping out like in the middle of the ledge is what we're doing today, like nose grind pop out in the middle. When you show up to one of those spots with like a really long ledge and there's no end to it, you kind of have to pop out of your tricks, and the tricks become more limited, and there's not as many that you could do. They're just more difficult, you know what I mean? So learning to nose grind pop out essentially just gives you another option at one of those spots like that, where you can do nose grind pop outs. A lot of people would just resort to crooks because they're easier to pop out of, or tail slides because you can just fall out of them in the middle. So it's just another option, another variety of trick that you can have in your bag when you show up at a spot like that. And they're just classic, man. I mean, I feel like I learned this trick because I used to watch a lot of Brian Wenning and Papalardo at Love Park and all that stuff. So they were always doing backside nose grind pop outs or fakey, you know, 5-0 pop outs, stuff like that. I was huge fan of all that stuff, and I had to learn it. And it just feels so cool to do, especially backside. Frontside nose grind pop out, which we'll get to in a minute, is definitely the more difficult of the two, and it's just not as natural feeling to pop out with the ledge in front of you like that. As far as backside nose grind pop outs go, to begin learning this trick, obviously you need to be able to back nose grind. You need to be able to nose manual. You need to be able to hold that position. Like, you need to be able to nose manual this whole box. That should be easy. That should be cake. Because if you can't really hold nose grinds, then there's no, it's gonna be harder to pop out, because you're gonna get into less consistent backside nose grinds that you can even pop out of. And then if you have those two things pretty much down, you should be able to kind of tiptoe your way into the backside nose grind pop out. A good little stepping stone that I always tell people who are trying to learn this trick is on the ground, just flat ground, get into a nose manual and just give yourself a little nudge to the side. That is pretty much the same motion you're gonna use in that nose grind to push yourself off the side of the ledge. Sometimes it's not really like a pop out, you know, you don't really hit your nose and get a real big nollie out of it. It's more of just like a nudge off to the side that's enough to kind of pop you out of that nose grind. And that's a great place to start. The other thing that I would recommend, which I never really did this, but in my head it kind of makes sense, is to nose manual the box and then kind of nose manual off the side. Kind of try one. This thing looks terrible to manual actually. But basically you would manual, and then you would go like this off the side of the nose manual just to get that same feeling of coming off of the side of the ledge. I never really learned that way. I learned just by balancing a nose grind and learning to nudge off the side of the ledge with kind of that technique that I did in a nose manual on the ground already. Also, the way I nose grind pop out usually is over the back. So I will come straight at this corner of the ledge, and I'll do a bunch of different angles and examples like I always do in these keys videos, kind of see how exactly I roll up to it and the angles I take and all that stuff. I ride straight at the corner of the ledge and ollie over the back into backside nose grind. And I feel like that's the easiest way to pop out, because when you come in from the side, your momentum's already going behind you, which makes that pop out a little more difficult. You have to get in and then readjust your body to be able to pop out, which is just a little more difficult if you nose grind from the side of the ledge. Over the back of it, keeping it more like a nose manual, or as much like a nose manual as possible, just makes that nudge and like the way your body is in the nose grind more natural to want to pop out. So I come straight over the back, directly at the corner of the ledge, and ollie into basically a nose manual. When I get comfortable enough, I give that little nudge off the side, and it's honestly a lot of pressure right here. You just kind of push off the side of the ledge in that concave while just doing the slightest little nollie motion with your back foot, and then your upper body just kind of pushes it off the top of the ledge. So I'll try and do one just like sitting here for you, just to give you kind of more of an example of what I mean. You basically get in with your toe on that concave, and it's just a little sideways nudge, just a little like, that's all it is. As long as you're in that nose grind proper, it's just a sideways little nudge to the side, and it will pop you just enough off the side of the ledge. I hope you can see what I'm talking about in the angles that I show. I'll do about 5 or 6 maybe different angles or something, try to see exactly how I do it. Watch my upper body when my momentum shifts to get the pop out to go. Yeah, let's get one. This box is a little weird for nose grinds though. It's wavy. It's like, hopefully it's not too bad. Let's get it. All right, so I hope you guys can see within all those different angles and slow-mos exactly kind of what my front toe's doing as I, you know, give that little nudge off to the side. Well, this box was actually kind of fun for it, because I feel like if you hit the right spot where you nollie out, if there was a bump there, you kind of get an extra little boost off. So some I like boosted off a little bit more than others, which is good to get like a variety of different kinds of nose grind pop outs for you guys. But now we're gonna get into the more difficult one, which is frontside nose grind pop out. This one is hard, honestly. I think it's hard. There's a couple of different ways to do it, which I'll explain in a second. Frontside nose grind pop out is just more difficult. Your body is just doesn't naturally want to pull off like that. It's a lot harder to get the board away from the ledge front side, at least for me. Maybe some people have nose grind pop outs dialed. I can do them. It's just, I wouldn't say it's as consistent as backside, not even close. But just like the backside one, you're gonna wanna have your nose grinds and nose manuals dialed, obviously, because you need the consistency of the balance to be able to pop out of it. For this one, I obviously don't, well, no, maybe it's not obvious, but for me, it's obvious that I don't come over the back, like straight over like a nose manual. I feel like front side is just really awkward to do that. I don't think I see many people frontside nose grind like straight on over the back, you know, unless you kind of have to at the spot or something. But so I ollie in nose grind from the side like a 50-50 or anything else, get into that nose manual position. And then with this one, you kind of want to slowly start to pull your weight like you're gonna fall off to the side, and then you use your toes to kind of pull the board away from the ledge. And you kind of have to time it right to where your body is pulling off the ledge as well, and then you give that nudge off to the side where you pull it with your toes. It's really weird, really awkward, and definitely takes a lot more getting used to get them down. That's the more difficult way though. The easiest way to nose grind pop out, which I feel like you can't really grind it for a long amount of time doing this, but is like the nose grind like on a flat bar type of way where you kind of over crook it. This one I like to do on taller objects obstacles. If it's like a tall ledge, I can get up, kind of like reach my nose grind up there on the side and kind of just pull out like a crook pop over, or like an, you know, an over crook pop out. And that way is a lot more natural to want to pull off the side of the ledge. That only works in certain situations. That's not your average like nose grind pop out. I guess maybe some people, you know, do, but I feel like the more difficult way and more awkward way to do it is just to grind a long nose grind and pop out to the side straight. It's super weird feeling. But again, I'll give you a bunch of different angles at it so you can kind of see what my body's doing and how my feet are pulling the board off to the side. I might even leave in a few bails on this one just so you can kind of see what happens and how awkward it is to get the board off the side of the ledge that way. I'll also do an over crook version of it too, just so you can see what I mean. And that is the easier way I find nose grind pop out. I only use that on like specific spots that I think it'll look cool or something. But yeah, let's get it. I'll give you guys a few nose grind pop outs. Like that one felt fine, like I thought I was gonna land it, and then it just didn't pull off the side of the ledge enough. Alrighty, that over crook nose grind pop out was kind of scary. I actually did it first tee, and then I was like, I should probably film one from the other angle as well. And then it took me like 4 or 5 tries, and they were kind of sketchy. So as you can see with the front nose grind pop out, it's just a little bit more awkward, man. It just doesn't want to like pull off the side, or like when I do land it, it's not as smooth, or it's like a little weird. It just feels weird to pull it off that way. It kind of works, but it doesn't work every try. I feel like the back nose grind pop out. Like once you figure out the back nose grind pop out, you can do it pretty consistently, as to where, at least for me, the front side one is just not very consistent. But I hope within the angles that I show, you can see how I do it and maybe apply that for yourself. And again, if you guys have any other ideas for keys videos, or you want to see different pop outs or go over other tricks, just leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you've been working on and what I could try to help you guys with. Now I kind of want to get something a little more tricky to kind of end it off. Instead of the standard like kickflip back nose grind pop out or something that I kind of do all the time, I want to do one that I've only done a few times and it's been a while, which is nollie heel flip backside nose grind pop out. This is kind of a sketchy box for it, so I don't know how it's gonna go. Feel like as long as I get into one, I should be able to get the pop outs. Let's try and get it, man. Hopefully it's not a battle. I had to get at least one nollie nose grind pop out to get the feels. It's gonna be a commitment thing for sure. Just scary. Oh, fuck. Holy. Oh, dude, that smelled so bad. I feel like it went right in my mouth. It's kind of going on there. I'm just not putting my front foot on because I'm being a bitch. There we go. I know it didn't look like much, but for me, that was like more commitment right there. Oh, no. So I just needed the balance right there, man. I had it. Ooh. Damn it. Hey, we're getting closer though. That's not what you want. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Oh, man. Dude. Oh. Got him. Let's go. Nollie heel back nose grind pop out is a success, man. I'm hyped. I don't think I've done that trick in a really long time. Maybe one in the past few years. I remember like maybe 5 years ago or so, we were on a trip in New York with the Santa Cruz squad. And I was trying to film like, I think a trick on the top of this bench, a kickle back tail, and then nollie heel back nose grind pop out on like a metal bleacher. I was hyped on that line, man. But yeah, I hope this video helps you guys with your nose grind pop outs, man. And always start with the basics. I feel like I can't stress that enough and tell you guys, like if you're having trouble with a certain trick, think about what could come before that trick or variations that are similar that you can learn first before then taking it to the next level. I mean, I see so many kids nowadays skipping so many steps and like, yeah, maybe it works and you learn tray flips before a kick flip, or I don't know. It never hurts to have all the basics down, you know, as much as possible. Like when I started skating, I tried to learn everything like in order, or when I was out skating my parents' driveway, if I'm skating the box, I would do 50-50, back 50-50, everything like back and forth, front tail, back tail, nose grind, front nose grind. I try to learn all the basics first. It just can't hurt, and it'll help you take all your tricks to that next level. But all right, I gotta get back to vacation life. The family's waiting for me back at the house. Take a dip in the pool, kick it for the rest of the day. It's hot, man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, yo.